I want to thank our reader for the great reading, and Karen Drucker and the CSL music team for the wonderful music that supports the message today. This month of January, our theme is Living Your Vision. And today, we're exploring overcoming challenges and obstacles. You know, every life includes obstacles and challenges and tribulations. If you're human, you will encounter disappointment, loss, uncertainty, change, and moments when that road ahead seems very steep. In John 16:33, Jesus told us this: "In this world, you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome this world." Jesus didn't say if. He said, you will have tribulation. And Buddha taught us pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Challenges and tribulations and obstacles are inevitable. Suffering comes from how we respond to them. So while you ponder that concept, let me give you your question for the week. What is the one choice you might make today to know you are responsible for your response to challenges, to dare to dream, knowing the universe always supports you, and to release old stories so you can see possibilities? One more time. What is the one choice you might make today to know you are responsible for your response to challenges, to dare to dream, knowing the universe always supports you, and to release old stories so you can see possibilities? Our spiritual path is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about meeting them consciously. One of the most empowering spiritual truths is this: we are not responsible for everything that happens, but we are responsible for how we respond. Ernest Holmes put it this way: life is not something that happens to us, it is something that happens through us. And A Course in Miracles reminds us, I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience. This is not blame, it's freedom. When we stop asking, why is this happening to me? In other words, why am I having to face this challenge or this obstacle in my road? And begin asking, who am I choosing to be in this? Everything shifts. You know, someone once said, I didn't trip over the obstacle, I tripped over my opinion about it. And honestly, that's most of us. In this Science of Mind philosophy, we teach that life operates by law. And law is a neutral, impersonal law that responds to our beliefs, our expectations, and our consciousness. Ernest Holmes reminds us, the law knows nothing about our personal wishes, but responds to our mental atmosphere. And if we believe that, we would notice that challenges are not punishments, they're feedback. And obstacles show us where our thinking may be limited or unconscious or ready to evolve. That's why personal responsibility is not about guilt, it's about alignment. When we change our consciousness, the law responds in kind. So let's take a look at a spiritual practice that might help you solidify this responsibility for how you respond to challenges. I call it the pause and choose practice. So you just notice when a challenge arises, and then take one conscious breath and ask yourself this question: am I reacting from fear or responding from truth? And then Choose again, making a conscious choice. Let's try that right now. Think of a challenge that you faced this past week, and just notice if you reacted from fear or responded from truth. You know, truth is that we never face anything we can't handle. So what conscious choice reaction might have served you better? That's always a good question. Jonathan Parker told us, circumstances do not define us. Our response does. Science of mind teaches us that we're co-creators with the universe. And in the Bible, in Proverbs 23:7, we read this: as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So quit seeing those obstacles as something to overcome and see them as an opportunity to learn. Holmes actually told us, we are not creatures of circumstance, we are creators of circumstance. Take that in. We're never victims unless we choose to live in what we know as Kingdom 1 of consciousness, which is victimhood. When we face an obstacle, the question is not, why did God do this to me? The real question is, what is seeking expression through me right now? So why not use the pause and choose practice to choose a conscious response that seeks to find the lesson behind the challenge or that tribulation that you're experiencing, and to see what might be trying to express through you. And by the way, if life feels like an obstacle course right now, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you signed up for the advanced class. I think those of us that are really steeped in this philosophy for a while might have noticed that challenges and obstacles often appear right before expansion. What if we dared to approach the obstacle, knowing, as Ernest Holmes told us, the universe is forever conspiring to express itself through us? Obstacles often appear when we are about to expand beyond an old self-concept. What if obstacles are not roadblocks or resistance, but rather they are redirections? That's worth thinking about. A traveler once came upon a large stone that was blocking the road, and he was angry and exhausted, and he cursed whoever left it there. And others came and complained, but they all walked away. And finally, a woman stopped. She pushed and she strained and she rested and she pushed again until she finally rolled the stone aside. Underneath it, she found a small bag of gold, and it had a note attached. This is what the note said: this obstacle was placed here to see who would move it and who would be changed by doing so. Challenges don't test us. They reveal us, our strengths, our tenacity, our willingness to overcome rather than ignore. I'm certain that bag of gold the woman who moved the stone found certainly helped to redirect her life. And Ernest Holmes reminds us, the universe is not against us. It is for us. Because in the Bible, in Matthew 19:26, it affirms, with God, all things are possible. Sometimes challenges and obstacles show us how we are meant to grow into what we are seeking. The science of mind gives us this radical truth. There is one life, and that life is God. It's also true that life is expressing uniquely as each one of us. So when we dare to dream, even in the face of difficulty, we activate that one life. We activate that universe that is conspiring with us to support us. And we activate our faith that with God, all things are possible. And we're not asking for something outside ourselves. We're allowing life to know itself more fully through us. This science of mind philosophy teaches that the universe is always moving toward greater expression. Let me repeat that. The universe is always moving toward greater expression. We might be living in a time where we wonder if that's actually true, but when something appears blocked, it is often not denial, it's refinement. Holmes told us the thing we seek is seeking us. And sometimes obstacles show us how we are meant to grow into what we are seeking. The Dalai Lama told us, remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. I certainly can attest to not getting what I want was sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck and of truth in my life. Sometimes the universe says no. And later we realize that the universe was really saying, I have something better, so stop arguing with me. Ever feel like you've argued with the universe about where your life was headed? Stop. Stop seeing those challenges or obstacles as difficulties to overcome and just try to see them as opportunities for expansion. Opportunities for the universe to give us something better as we move away that stone in our path. So let's take a look at a spiritual practice to help solidify this ability to dream, to get something better, and to expand our life. I call it the bigger vision practice. So I invite you to write or reflect on these questions. What challenge am I facing? What might this be making space for? And if I trusted life completely, what would I dare to dream? What would you dare to dream if you knew that that challenge you were facing was just making space for something better? Katherine Economou told us, faith is not certainty about outcomes, it is trust in unfolding. The science of mind teaches us that thought precedes experience. We've talked about the law and how our thought is picked up by that law, and thought indeed becomes what we experience. And Holmes reminded us there is a power in the universe that responds to us as we think. I need to repeat that. There is a power in the universe that responds to us as we think. Often the biggest obstacle isn't the challenging situation, it's the story that we tell ourselves about it. Have you ever had these thoughts? Oh, this always happens to me. I'm not good at this. It's too late. I missed my chance. Don't even try to deny it. We've all had similar thoughts to these. And again, that's when we're living in the kingdom of one consciousness of victimhood. We are not victims. We are co-creators. A Course in Miracles reminds us you are not the victim of the world you see. And Buddha put it this way: what we think, we become. Now for me, sometimes that's a scary thought, because I know sometimes my thinking is not in alignment with this philosophy or with who I want to be. But I like the way Jesus put it best, I think, about those stories that we tell ourselves. In Romans 12:12, we read that Jesus said this: "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." So let's be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Let's take those challenging situations and stop telling ourselves the story that we're a victim of them, and start being transformed by renewing how we think about it. A Course in Miracles agrees. Change but your mind and what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Wow. All the world must change accordingly? That's power. When we renew our minds, when we choose a conscious thought about our challenges and obstacles, when we let go of all those old stories, that it's not denial, it's liberation. Those old stories are simply old patterns of thought. Let them go. When we change the story, the law must respond with a new form. And if you need help, try using spiritual mind treatment. We don't use it to convince God or to beg God. Rather, we use it to align ourselves with truth. Here's a simple spiritual mind treatment that uses all 5 steps of an affirmative prayer. You can use it anytime. There is one life, one intelligence, one power, present everywhere. That life is expressing as me now. I claim clarity, courage, and right action in this challenge. I'm grateful life unfolds in perfect order. And I release this prayer into the law, knowing it is done. And so it is. I'm going to put it out on the website so that you can print it out or write it down and take it with you. It's a great prayer for when you're having a challenge. Because the real truth is, new possibilities are always available. And every challenge carries that seed of transformation. Ernest Holmes affirmed, "There is always something new seeking expression through us." And when we release our old interpretations, we find those new possibilities. So let's look at another spiritual practice to help us overcome challenges and obstacles. I call it reframing the challenge. Write or reflect on completing these sentences. This challenge is teaching me. This obstacle is inviting me to become. So sometimes we need a little encouragement, and here's a few affirmations that I'm going to invite you to repeat after me, and perhaps select one to use each day this week. How is it I so willingly accept I am guided by infinite intelligence? How is it I so willingly accept I am guided by infinite intelligence? How is it I lovingly embrace every challenge reveals new possibilities? How is it I lovingly embrace every challenge reveals new possibilities? How is it I so gratefully know life supports me always? How is it I so gratefully know life supports me always? How is it I so easily move forward in faith and clarity? How is it I so easily move forward in faith and clarity? And I gently remind you that in Science of Mind, we don't overcome obstacles by force. We transcend them by changing our consciousness. Let me repeat that. We do not overcome obstacles by force. We transcend them by changing our consciousness. As our awareness shifts, the path in front of us reshapes itself. Because the law is operating, nothing is ever stuck. There is no such thing as a closed future, only a present moment infused with choice. Holmes reminds us we live in a universe of infinite possibility. Our Science of Mind philosophy would say that right now is the point of power. So let's remember that. We live in a universe of infinite possibility. And there's a power in that universe, and we can use it. And so in summary, in 2026, how might you overcome challenges and obstacles? Remember to be responsible for your responses to them. Life happens through us, not to us. We're never victims. Pause and make conscious responses to those challenges. And dare to dream and expand who you are. Approach challenges as redirections, letting you figure out how to expand your life and activate the universe which conspires to express as us. Let go of all those old stories, give up that victimhood, and transform your thinking. Remember that new possibilities are always available. And know, as our awareness shifts, our path reshapes itself. So here's your affirmation for the week. How is it I so willingly, energetically, and effortlessly know I am responsible for my response to challenges? Dare to dream, knowing the universe always supports me. And release old stories so I can see possibilities. And your challenge for the week is to make a conscious choice when a challenge arises and ask yourself what might be the opportunity for growth here. So spend this next week daring to dream and embracing that the universe is always for you. Commit to using some spiritual practice, either ones that I suggested or ones that you make up yourself, so that you can embrace ways to overcome those challenges and obstacles and trials and tribulations in your life. Let's pray. Infinite presence. There is one life, one presence, one infinite intelligence, and we are each a sacred expression of that intelligence. I know that each of us heard something today that reminds us to walk forward each day And remember that in each obstacle is an opportunity to expand who we are. I give thanks for every challenge that shaped me, for every obstacle that has refined me, and for every moment that has called me deeper into the truth. I know that because the law is always operating, nothing is ever stuck, and there's no such thing as a true obstacle, only a present moment infused with choice. I know this to be the truth of me and for each person hearing this prayer. I know that I live in a universe of infinite possibilities, and I can release the stories that no longer serve me and trust the wisdom that's unfolding within me. I affirm that courage and clarity and compassion are my companions, as well as companions of each person with me today as we meet any tribulation. May each of us walk forward knowing nothing stands in our way. Indeed, everything conspires for our good. I see each of us being the embodiment of divine love, the love which guides our steps with wisdom and fills our days with gentleness and vision. I see each of us rooted in peace and lifted by love, choosing today to live in alignment with the truth of our being, knowing that all we are and that all we might become is love. So may the tapestry of our lives continue to unfold in beauty and purpose and love. I am so grateful for each person who chose to spend some time with us today. Grateful that we can go forth with joy and courage and an open heart, embracing that we easily overcome challenges and obstacles. So it's from this gratitude and with joy, bliss, and blessings that I release this word into the law, into that divine yes, knowing it is done, it is complete, it is fulfilled. So I can say amen, and we can affirm it together. And so it is. I want to once again thank everybody that supports us. We are in need of a new computer right now, so I'm looking forward to people making maybe an extra contribution to help us purchase that new computer so we can continue to have these services put together and save me actually a lot of time when I try to do that. And I'm grateful for everyone that continues to support us and allow us to bring this message of love and peace into the world. Enjoy our offertory song.